What is going on? It's Alex from Metal Kingdom. We are at the Mod Club today for the Bloodstained Earth Tour featuring Venom Inc,
Yeah.
Goat Whore, Toxic Holocaust, and Convalescence.
But they're not there. Convalescence aren't there.
Oh, so
Yeah,
that's why there wasn't anything going on on stage. Because I was thinking like we arrived at 7:30.
They couldn't do the two shows. I guess two of the guys didn't have passports, so they couldn't get in the end. So but never mind. They'll be back. They'll be back.
I'm sure. Yeah. So Venom Inc is here, like I said, and I'm joined by 2/3 of Venom Inc. I got Tony Dolan, aka Demolition Man, and the one and only Jeff Dunn, aka Mantas, famous for creating black metal. How's it going, guys?
It's going very well.
It's good.
Very well.
Good to see you again. 5 years ago.
I know. Fucking 5 years.
Got to see you guys with Onslaught, and that was awesome.
My hair was down here, and I had that. Oh no, that was someone else. Went down right. Yeah, no, that was great. That was a great night as well.
You guys were like some of the coolest dudes I've ever hung out with after the show. So I want to thank you for that.
No, thank you. You know.
Awesome. So you just begun the Bloodstained Earth Tour a few days ago.
Yeah.
How have the first few shows been?
Absolutely terrible, so fuck, we're nearly finished. No, brilliant. I mean, we kicked off in Philadelphia. We had a couple of days rehearsal, and then the first show was Philly. And we kind of didn't know what to expect, you know. The album's been received really well. We were kind of excited to promote that. And these are the first shows promoting the album, doing the stuff off the album, really. And so, you know, we just took it on 35 dates across North America. We're coming up to Canada, Vancouver, of course, Montreal. We played last night, but we didn't know what to expect. And in Philadelphia, it seemed really cool. The club was really cool. And then just before, I guess, or halfway through Goto's set, I opened the door to throw out a cigarette butt, and it just hit me. Fucking millions of people outside. And I was like, oh shit. I said, the street's full of people. And they went, yeah. I said, I hope they all go inside when we play, ha ha ha. And they went, well, they can't get inside, it's packed. So I was like, what? And they said, yeah, it's oversold. So we actually literally went on, and they had the doors to the venue open, and people were in the street.
Wow.
And it was mental. I mean, absolutely mental. The pit was incredible.
Oversold.
And then, and there was, that was the first date, so, you know, let's not get too excited and take it as it comes. And then we played the Gramercy on Manhattan in New York the next night. You know, nice there, signs of everywhere, no mushing, no pits, no diving, no this, no that, don't speak, don't sit there, don't stand there, don't look at this one. It's like, fucking hell, you know, this is going to be a bit interesting. And a second tier was seats. And we went on, and it was fucking rammed to the gunners, and they went nuts from the first note. Everybody's been singing all day along with us, the opening number. And then the pit smash. Oh, it was incredible.
Awesome.
Boston, same thing again. Then we went to Montreal last night, off the map. You know, the French Canadians, they were just like bang. It was like an explosion. So, I mean, it's really energizing. We know the West Coast priming, Texas. You know, we go through Cleveland, Chicago. We got Detroit, Harpo's, which is back up and running. You know, a place I went to see bands in the 80s when I lived in 70s when I lived in Canada. So, you know, it's great. It's great to be able to come back and have a good album and have this kind of response, you know. So
yeah, absolutely. Sounds great. So, and there's quite a diverse lineup for this tour. I mentioned the Convalescence is on there. They couldn't make it here, but there's Toxic Holocaust and Goat Horror and you guys. It's quite eclectic for metal. Was that the point for this tour, to have a little bit of something for everyone?
Well, I think, you know, we've done tours with Empire and everything else, and we've always tried to have a balance. I mean, you know, you mentioned the Onslaught tour, where we had Monster, you know, I mean, so we've always had that kind of diversity on the tour, because we think that, I guess we consider ourselves more traditional. Yeah. And then, you know, there's so many genres these days. I want to show everybody that it's all one thing. You know, you can be specific in your taste, might be a bit more towards black metal or a bit more towards death metal or thrash or whatever it is. You know, old school or new school, but it's all us. You know, and to see a skinhead standing next to a thrash kid, standing next to a black metal kid, standing next to just a metal guy or a metal girl, you know, that's the community, you know, that's the music. So having a bill like that, it seems to fit really well. People
Absolutely.
get something of everything, you know.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. So as we just mentioned, Ave is out. It's fantastic. As I said in my review of the record.
Yeah, great review. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
It's really,
Ave Satanas, Forged in Hell, Time to Die, Black and Roll, brilliant stuff. You said that this may be a question more for you, but for the writing of this album, you said you wrote all the music, right? And you had about 20 songs written, right?
Yeah,
Probably more.
There was. I mean, on the hard drive, it started at V-Inc 001 and went up at V-Inc 020.
Yeah.
But within all those project pages, there was probably about 25.
So will any of the leftover songs be ready or come on the next album?
I don't know because it depends. I always look at what I've done. You know, if there's any unused stuff there, but I tend to sort of just throw it all in the trash can and start again. You know, if there's anything there that I think, oh, that is really good and it could become something really good, then yeah, I probably will revisit it.
Right.
But if, you know, with me, I mean, for example, V-Inc 15, there was 3 songs came out of that project.
Yeah.
As I was writing the riffs, and then I was doing the arrangements. I was thinking, no, it doesn't quite fit with that. Like, so it would go to one side, and then I would revisit it maybe a couple of days later, because I believe that the song's got to tell you what's going on, where it's going to go. You know, in the same way as Tony says,
Yeah.
you know, he sees the lyrics and visuals, and you know what it's going to tell you. So, you know, when I was going back and revisiting, and then I was putting that particular song together, then I would scroll along the project page and think, oh, what's that riff again? I was like, oh, right, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, and then another song. So V-Inc 15 spawned 3 songs, which are actually on the album. Vocal-wise, Dying Flesh and Metal We Bleed are the original demo vocals that we sent to Nuclear Blast. I just wouldn't let him re-record those.
No.
You know, it was like, no, they are great takes, and he wanted to when he came to my studio. He was like, oh, I'll do it again, and if we had it done, I would have took all those takes and put them to one side.
Right.
Because they were so good. But Metal We Bleed, the vocals on that became the template for the vocal sound on the album, you know. And I've said this in just about every interview. I think his vocal performance on this album is the best he's ever done.
I agree.
Ever.
No,
It's fucking stunning. It's great.
I agree.
You know, there was some things I was asking him to do where he was going, you're fucking joking. But we did it. And a lot of what you hear on Harvey in vocal is one take.
Nice.
You know,
But I think that's, like what Jeff said, I think that's the thing, you know, that I do take the compliment, but it's like, you know, to push yourself, it's kind of the magic that we have together. You know, Jeff is such a prolific writer, you know, and kind of on this, because he has so much material, and we had a kind of short time frame. You go with, you know, let's say you're a good fabricator and the other guy's a good engineer, and you've got a time frame to do a car. The other guy wants to do the engineering, and you want to do the engineering, he wants to do the fabrication.
Exactly, yeah.
But you're good at fabricating and fast, and he's good at engineering and fast. So you go to what works, and together you make this amazing vehicle. Yeah, that's kind of what we did. So it's like you don't stop that flow. You had so much stuff, and sending it across, it was like everything I was hearing was like I was seeing it straight away, and the visuals fell into place like a jigsaw puzzle to what was happening. It was so natural.
Yeah.
His performances on the construction, the guitar work and stuff was so great that you know, it inspired me to push as hard as I could on the vocals.
Yeah.
So you know, you elevate your performances.
Exactly.
I think that's what we did. We give probably everything that we had and everything we didn't realise we had.
Yeah.
We wanted to make it as special as we could, and that's hopefully what we did.
I think at the end of the day as well, it was, you know, just taking pride in what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Because I've always said, you know, I've recorded for other bands, I've produced other bands, I haven't done a lot of that stuff. It's something I want to really get into, but I have done other projects with other people, and I've sessioned for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said, you know, if I've been recording a guitarist or a vocalist or something like that, you know, I've done demos for people and all this kind of stuff, and I've said, right, are you happy? I said, yeah. It's like, no, are you really happy? Because once that CD is pressed,
You can't change it.
Yeah.
and once it's on the record store shelf, you cannot walk in and look at the assistant
wish
and
I'd
go,
done
hey, I'm
this,
just going to take
or-
this back because I'm just going to redo it. that you can't, you know. So you've got to put your absolute best.
Absolutely.
And I've always said, I consider myself adequate for what I'm doing at any one point in time.
Yeah.
I'm not a virtuoso. I've got no intention of being a virtuoso. I'm not interested in being a virtuoso. I want to be a great songwriter. You know, I want to produce great music. I want to mix great music, and I want to be a great songwriter. I don't want to be hailed as the next Bing Bing Malmsteen, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
I can't play like those guys.
Right.
But what I think I have got is, you know, an ear for songs,
Heart and
arrangements, and
Heart and
just putting everything into it. And I always look at a song in hook lines and choruses and right, okay, then where does the audience join in? And like Tony said, you know, everybody when it gets to the chorus, Ave, always, you know, Countess Bathory is another one, you know, Metal We Bleed, the stop, Metal We Bleed, you know, boom, back in again. So I'm always looking for that, where's the audience participation? Because it gives the song to them.
It's power.
It then becomes their song, it's empowering. It's empowering to them.
But I also think that is a point. It's like, you know, what happens with our live, and it's what's happening with the album is that, you know, I'm repeating it, but I think there's two kind of people who do music. There's a guy in a band, and then there's a musician. And it's like, you know, we've all seen those musicians, you know, the players who, they've got their eyes closed and they're playing, could even be holding a single note and the note's changing. It's like, what are they doing? They're singing it. You know, they're feeling it. It's like starts from your toes and goes all the way and comes out your forehead. It's the same thing with the performance like that. It's when you lose yourself in your musicianship, you know, that's a musician. You know, you can change a guy out of a band like that.
Right.
People do it all the time, and it's like, well, it's still the band. It doesn't make. But when there's something extra, when there's that element, you know, like blues players are famous for it. That you can't change that. So you don't have to be. Maybe you don't have to be like a Yngwie Malmsteen thing, but that's why people hear his playing, you know, and think like, fucking hell, man, that's incredible, because it is him. It's who he is comes out of his fingers, and you can't change that. You can't beat that. You know, you can play the riffs. I mean, you know, lots of people play the old Venom riffs. But then he plays it and they go, fucking hell, how did he make it sound like that? It's like, what settings have you got? What pedals are you using? What amp you got? What's your guitar? What's this? What's it? It's like, forget all that. Makes no difference. He'd sound like that on any guitar through any amp, because it's him. It's just him. It's how he plays, you know.
Sorry, people, he's keeping the secret to himself.
Yes, sorry about that.
I mean, on that
an
note,
old sock on your hand.
quickly. very quickly before we move on. I seen a video a while ago. YouTube or Facebook or something like that, but I don't know if this kid, you know, young kid about 15, 16 year old, I don't know if he had won some competition or something like that, but he was totally unaware of what was going to happen. But Joe Satriani knocked on his front door and Joe Satriani walked in with the camera crew and everything like that. This kid was like, oh my god, and I was like, hey kid, you know, like, and then the kid was like, oh come on, let's see your guitar, you know. So he went upstairs into the kid's bedroom. There was this copy Stratocaster or something, you know, it wasn't an expensive guitar, and there was a tiny little practice amp. Joe Satriani plugged in and sounded like Joe Satriani. You know, so, you know, people say to me I've got a signature tone. I don't know, I don't see it, but, you know, all I can say is, with every guitarist that I know, and what people have said to me about my playing, you know, it's
in the fingers.
It's there. It's there, it's here, and it's there.
I think that it's what breeds that individuality. You know, it's kind of also what makes us distinctive as a band. You know, because, you know, you take the Judas Priesters and the Kiss and the Sabbaths and all of those bands, the Zeppelins, Purples, you know, they were like distinctive bands. You pick a genre from these days of a new band, and one band could be one of many bands. It's kind of hard to distinguish what's going on. I'm not saying that's bad, and these musicians are fucking incredible musicians, and you know, but that's what distincts you out. When the character becomes distinctive, you could hear a riff and go, I know exactly who that, like 2 bars or 2 notes, and go, you know, wow, that's straight away you can tell with a guitarist or something. So, and you know, that's what's great.
Another question for you. You mentioned that you live in Portugal right now.
Yes.
How long have you lived there, and talk about the decision what made you want to move to Portugal?
I've lived there just over 3 years, and you know, I've got a grown-up daughter, very happily married, and you know, she's given me a wonderful gift of a grandson now. And my girlfriend's got 4 daughters, and she's got 8 grandkids. And we just sat down with all the kids one day and just said, look, this is what we want to do. We'd been on vacation a few times and fell in love with the place.
Right.
But we decided, we didn't want to move into a tourist area and hear the English voices all the time, we stay in England for that. So we thought we're going to move to Portugal, like a real place. So we're right in the centre of Portugal, a very small village with the only English people there. The people are wonderful. They've taken us to heart. It's an incredible place. I love it. Absolutely love it. I call it home now.
Nice.
I love Portugal. Absolutely love it. And of course the weather's better. But no, it's a beautiful place.
And I think also what's important, which he never says, is these people aren't used to people stealing stuff from their house, so they invite him in from somebody steals stuff and takes it to his house. So he doesn't have to buy anything, which is nice.
That's
And they don't quite get it, but they think maybe it's an English thing. So his house is really lovely.
I've got sofas and chickens and
most of the villagers got nothing in their house. That's all it is.
No, I love it. I love it.
You got grandkids. Look at you. You look great. You don't look. You still look young.
Fucking
Look at that skin. Look at that
Jesus.
skin.
Ask me the same question at about fucking midnight tonight.
We always said that when people go, wow, the energy on stage. I said, yep, we feel like we're 16 on stage and 170 when we come out.
I mean, I'll admit, we both train, and I mean, I don't drink alcohol at all. I mean, I'm stupid because I still smoke cigarettes, but there's no drugs, there's no alcohol. I refuse to be a part of any of that. I train day on, day off, day on, day off, day on, day off. But I'm 56, so it's I've trained all my life since I was a kid. But when you get to this age, and when you're out on the road, you've got to look after yourself. So if you go into our individual food cupboards, you'll see it's full of vitamins and fucking protein powders and fucking vegetables and stuff like that. So we eat clean. We live as clean as we possibly can. And we get as much rest as we can. That's the most important thing, and it's the most difficult thing.
People will go, oh, fucking hell, is that the rock and roll and parties and stuff? It's like, yeah, we fucked and drank and done all that shit when we were younger, but as you get older, I think that...
And it was money,
Yeah, we got 2 days off of the 35 days. And those 2 days are just driving from here to there. And that's the only reason you have those times off, is to get to that distance. And so, it's very hard to have little sleep, little food, and then turn in the performances. And then turn in the performances for the show. So, each show you want to be able to deliver 100% of everything to the audience. So that's why we think it's really important to be as fit and as strong as we can be to give all of that.
Do you know what the one thing I find absolutely abhorrent is to see any act on stage who go on there drugged out of their fucking mind or fucking drunk, because those people in the audience are paid fucking good money to come and see them play. And it's what I've always said and what we always say: without the fans, we don't exist.
Exactly.
So if we turn up on stage and they're fucking pissed out of our heads or fucking
Sure, you don't care. It's disrespectful, to your fans.
And what we've heard from people, I'm not going to say this is my opinion, but what we've heard from people is like, Jesus, for the age you guys are, the energy that comes off that stage, you're fucking all these young kids' exes, It's like, if that's true, then that's great. But we just do what we do. We do what we do naturally. It's not something which is contrived and we'll go on there and sort of put this act on. We genuinely go on there and give it everything we've got, and then when we come off stage, that's when the pain sets in.
And sometimes it's really difficult, but it's why you're here.
Sure. Okay, so just a couple more, and then we'll.
No worries.
Go back to Empire of Evil a little bit. I saw you guys when you guys were on the Onslaught tour, and you put out a couple albums, great albums, Hell to the Holy, which is all original material, and Crucified, which features a bunch of re-recordings of a bunch of the deep cuts from the Temples of Ice, Primeval, and the Wastelands albums. For people that may be interested and maybe wanted to hear those, where would be the place to maybe get those albums if they were willing to check
Well,
out?
I guess that was the whole idea of Crucified, those albums that we all really liked, the material on there in that period was kind of buried, Sanctuary, which became Universal and bought it by Sony, owned bought the masters and just clamp down on the releases and will not license them out.
Yeah.
So it's like fans were constantly looking for them, and the albums sometimes show up on eBay for like $200 and stuff, and we just thought, this is fucking ridiculous. We were playing songs in the Empire set, you know, because again, much like the Venom Inc thing, sorry, the fans were telling us what they wanted to hear, and we're just trying to feed them. And they did on it, well, would you play this, would you play this? So we started putting some of the songs in. Then they wanted to buy them, and we just got to the point where, like, well, we can't get it at the masters, and I thought, well, we might as well re-record some. And then if we re-record them, and then we play them live, it's not like the cover versions, it's just like they're the songs in our set. So that was kind of the idea behind it, you know? So I guess if you wanted to hear those particular songs and you couldn't find the albums, then buy Crucified. Other than that, you know, the intention was to do Crucified 2 and then put more out, because it, you know, we put everything into those albums regardless of what happened to them afterwards, and I just don't think there's any point in making music and it just being stuck in a cupboard somewhere. What was the point of doing it, you know? And you know, personally, I'm proud of all of the music that's been part of my life and all of that performance stuff. So if I could get it and get people to have it, that's the intention, isn't it? So I mean, just keep looking, and as soon as we can get them to be re-released again, maybe with the Venom Inc thing happening, we're trying to drive that forward and see what happens and get the albums re-released as a box set. You know?
Same thing, maybe like Hell to the Holy, Crucified.
Yeah, well, those were, we've got the album we were working on before we kicked off with Venom Inc was the Unleashed album. We had a bit of bass to put down and some vocals, and then we kind of got held up and thought we'd delay it a year and could revisit, but it's just been, this has been a roller coaster non-stop. So there's a little period over Christmas we look like we should have a gap, so I'm going to fly to Jeff's studio and then we'll finish off that, have it ready to go maybe in the summer. The masters for for Creatures and Crucified and Hell have all returned, so we might put them as a box set with the new album and then be able to release that so people can get hands on that, you know.
Awesome. So look out for those albums coming soon. And I want to give a shout out to Mark Jackson, who used to play drums in Empire of Evil. He's a great guy, great drummer. He plays in Acid Rain now. Sick band. Check him out.
Yeah, absolutely. Good band, good drummer.
Okay, and just two more, and then we'll be done. Tony, are you still doing stuff with Adamcraft?
Well, there was a fest. I was supposed to do a festival, Old Fest this year, October time, and I was going to do that. But our schedule is just such that it was impossible. It's impossible now. But I mean, I've still got some recordings, and I was writing some new stuff. So I'm always like going towards something, but then everything else comes in the way. So I don't know, you know. But there's offers to go to South America and to Europe and to play shows, you know. So I guess, I mean, ultimately, what would be nice is that we have all of the project bands that we do, and we're our own touring band. It just means we play for 6 hours a night.
And you're singing every fucking band.
Exactly. So it will be a bit tiring, but it would be kind of fun to mix things up a bit, you know. And who knows, eventually, you know, we may even stick some Empire stuff in the Venom Inc set. You know,
That'd be sick.
Why not?
Hellspawn, come on.
Exactly, Hellspawn, Hell to the Holy, those kind of tracks.
Metal Messiah.
Metal Messiah, 8th Gear, we never did live. I think it's dying to be out there. You know, when you listen to this, to Arvey, it feels, for me, it's that's Empire and this is this, but it's just all the music, isn't it? You know, it's the whole idea of the legacy, why we went back to start in the first single. You know, and people go, why are you doing the first 2 albums? It's like, well, because this is about the legacy of the music, not about the personnel. It's just do you feel it? And music's an emotional attachment, something that triggers. You know, if you can feel it, that's all it's about. Not the politics, just what do I get from it? You know, so why not? You know, it's all embrace everything and put it all together.
Awesome. Sounds awesome. Okay, and the last question. So you've still got about another 3.5 weeks on this tour. You're finishing up at the beginning of October.
Yes.
Then you got some a couple of shows in Finland in October, I believe.
Yeah, we got festival shows. We got five or so dates in the UK, and then we go straight into Europe now.
Yeah.
So we'll go straight into Europe running with that, and I think we're going to be taking this package with us. So
Same
we'll have
package.
to go to Toxic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what do you think would be like the touring plans for 2018?
Arenas.
Arenas,
yeah, I guess. Well, we've got Japan confirmed. We'll be going to New Zealand, Australia, Singapore is hopeful, and Bangkok they're working on right now. So there'll be some Chinese there, Malaysia, you know, and then into South America, because we were due to go to South America at the end of this year. But now we're doing Europe because Nuclear Blast want to push us into Europe, so we'll have to do Asia and then South America, you know, so
Awesome.
many countries we can.
Yeah, for sure.
Not Argentina, there's something weird about Argentina. Yeah, Argentina, definitely Argentina.
So look out, folks. The beast known as Venom Inc. is coming your way, and it's coming worldwide to kick your asses.
Absolutely.
All right, so that'll be all. Thank you guys so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you very
That was
much.
awesome.
Thank you
awesome to
so
talk
much.
to you. No problem.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Any last words of wisdom to the fans watching?
Well, I'll make it brief, and then Tony can say something. But all I will say is, I've said this a million times. You've probably heard me say it on stage, but never forget, you guys, you're the most important part of the music industry, and without you, we do not exist. Right? So thank you so much for all of your support. Whether you discovered Venom halfway through the career, whether you came in at the beginning, or whether you come in on RV, all about you guys. Thank you much. Maximum respect.
Yeah, I'd underline that. Just thank you for supporting the band from their very, beginnings to now. You know, it's very important, and every single member appreciates and respects the support. So thank you for everything.
Excellent, Ave. So be sure to catch Venom Inc. on the Bloodstained Earth tour running through early October, and pick up the new album Ave, out now on Nuclear Blast Records. It's fucking fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I'm Alex. You're watching MetalMasterKingdom.com. Ave. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Ave.